Spotlight on the Salem Memorial District Hospital. Nicole's made her way in. How are you, girl?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, very good, very good.
Good.
Anyway, Nicole's the dietitian at the Salem Memorial District Hospital, and you've been there about a year now, right? It's been
Yeah, it's
almost,
coming up a year in
yeah,
October.
okay,
Yeah.
so not too far off. Very good. So, Nicole, first off, everybody in the family's good, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
we're
very
doing
good.
well. Thank
All
you.
right, very good. That's good stuff. Let's talk a little bit about summer. We all know about coronavirus, all right? We all talk about the summer. I think one of the things right now, we haven't had a super bad summer yet, but we want to
Right.
remind people, whether you're inside or outside, you still have to stay hydrated, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah,
very
hydration
important.
is a big part, especially whenever you're outside sweating a lot and you're losing a lot of electrolytes. That's where maybe the Gatorade or the Powerade would come into play a little bit more during those times.
But stay hydrated. Water's always good.
Always the best option.
Always good
Yes.
options.
Yes.
Stay away from caffeinated beverages, right?
Yes,
And
soda
alcohol.
too. Yeah, any of that's just going to dehydrate you even more. Even if you hate water, I just highly recommend sip on it, chew on ice, get water that's flavored.
Yeah, they had a flavored water
Anything,
now, yeah.
absolutely. Do fruit infused water. Throw strawberries
Mm-hmm.
in there or watermelon or whatever you enjoy eating. Just think, can I put that in a water source and be
Sure.
able to get that down?
Sure. Well, let's also talk, before we get into what you're going to talk about, a little bit about this time of year is also the great time for fruits like cantaloupe and watermelon, which has a lot of
Yes.
water in it. And
Absolutely.
so that can keep you hydrated. But these are just fantastic fruits, plums, peaches. Boy, it doesn't get better than that at this time of year, does it?
Oh, no, absolutely. The biggest thing, too, this time of year is it's in season. So it's way more affordable right now than it is whenever you're trying to buy off season. And I think that's what so many people struggle with. They love fruits and vegetables, but it's much more expensive to buy them off season. So I really push in the summer. Go try all these things you haven't tried. Go to the farmer's market. They got lots of options there. Go to the store, find lots of options. There's so much out there right now that you can try.
Right. And naturally grown instead of greenhouse grown. And there is a difference in the
Yeah,
taste.
there is for sure.
There is a difference. There's no doubt about it. So you have plenty of options right now. And also vegetables right now, fresh grown vegetables from your own garden or just getting them from the store where they're grown locally or something like that. Farmers markets, this is a fantastic time to go, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. I just went on Saturday and I had a great turnout of just various options that I could have. It was wonderful. My kids loved it. We had such a good time. They loved looking at everything and trying and sampling. So they had a wonderful time. But yeah, I think just remembering a lot of people right now are actually doing their own gardens just due to the fact that they want less food handling of someone else.
Sure.
So if you've never tried a garden, try it. I mean, you can do it in pots. You don't have to have this big laid out garden in your yard. You don't have to go buy a bunch of like raised beds or anything like that. You can just grab a couple of pots, put a tomato plant in one, put some
Right.
peppers in another. Just trial some things. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But at least it's a
Or you can put
something
a
you
little
can
small
try.
little area out in the backyard.
Absolutely.
Maybe 3x6, and maybe grow your own lettuce and carrots and things of that nature. Make your own salad.
absolutely.
It's a lot cheaper than buying it at the store.
Right.
And you're not affected by market price either. It's
Yeah.
growing right there. A little bit of water, a little bit of earth, and a little bit of sun.
Yeah.
And we've had plenty of sun here lately, so it really help those things out. But this is the time to really eat healthy, and let's hope everybody
Yes.
is right now. And of course, one of the things about coronavirus that we all know is everybody got sedentary for a long time. Don't go anywhere. Don't stay inside. Well, that's good advice, but also not very good advice,
Right.
isn't it? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think a lot, instead of the freshman 15, you have the coronavirus 15, and just the fact that you're stuck at home and you can't do anything. So I think a lot more people are trying to get out right now and just go for walks. And if nothing else, get outside and plant your garden. At least gardening is active and something you can do. And again, you have more control over your food source, which I think is a huge benefit at this time.
I think a lot of people were out cutting grass for a while. We had so much
Yes.
rain, grass was growing every 3 days.
Yes.
I didn't have to cut my grass in 3 days this time. I thought, wow, I got a vacation.
Right.
I get 6 days. Wow.
There you go.
But if we get a little bit more rain, who knows what's going to happen.
Absolutely.
But again, it's very important to stay active. Get out.
Yes.
And it's very important to get outside. What a beautiful morning it is today to
Oh,
be
it's
outside. If you have a
wonderful.
garden, get out there today and do a little bit of, I will say, tinkering in the garden.
There you
My
go.
dad always used to say, "Why don't you go tinker in the garden?"
There
Which
you
meant
go.
go weed it,
Right.
Go,
well, just
put
doing
this.
anything. Just
Well,
get
sure,
out of your
sure.
house.
Absolutely.
It's so nice in the mornings right now.
Absolutely.
It seems wrong to stay in the house and sit on the couch to me.
Very good, very good. All right, well, but there are some myths out there with this coronavirus as well, isn't there?
And there's several that I've noticed. The World Health Organization and Harvard University both threw out some nutrition information related to coronavirus, and some of them are valid, and then some of them are no, that's really not going to help. It's a great idea behind why they think it would.
Okay.
The World Health Organization was very adamant about this isn't going to do a thing, unfortunately. While it might be good overall nutrition, it's just not going to help.
Okay.
So one of those things was hot peppers. They're very tasty. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a spicy kind of girl.
They'll make you sweat.
They will, right? But I know a lot of people who are. They love it. But the idea behind it was that there is an ingredient in hot peppers called capsaicin. And that particular ingredient not only is utilized for pain, they've actually utilized that ingredient in a lot of ointments, creams for just relieving joint pain or just pain from worn out muscles or anything like that. But the idea was if you take it in a supplement, what it would do is it can improve your digestion and increase the digestive fluids. And in turn, doing that, it can fight the bacteria that might be there. That's
Okay.
wonderful.
I never heard that. But
Yes,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So that was the idea behind it
right.
as to why this information was getting out. Hey, go eat all these hot peppers. It can help kill this infection. But let's be honest, the infection is respiratory. It's not bowels. And the reality is that eating in a pepper source isn't necessarily going to provide you with what you need there. So a lot of people will utilize that for more pain related, like I
Sure.
had talked about, but it's not necessarily going to be a great
You'll
source
find
to
that
do
on most pain
infections.
creams now.
Yeah.
Actually, you really will find that ingredient.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Absolutely.
but
it doesn't help you with COVID. No, no. Again, they just recommend that social distancing, washing your hands really well, covering your cough and your sneezes. It's a
Probably
big
don't
part.
want to eat that pepper before you go to the hospital
No.
and get your temperature checked.
Probably not. We'll probably send you home.
Because if you're walking in there with sweats and things of that
Yes.
nature, they're probably going to say sorry.
We're going to
but
be highly concerned.
yeah, you may want to go, well, I just had 15 peppers.
Absolutely.
Probably not a wise thing to do if you're going to be visiting somebody at the hospital or going to get a COVID test. So please don't do that.
Absolutely.
All right. So that's myth.
Yes, that's one that's really not going to help you
just-
at all. I mean, it's great for other sources, but it's not something that you would utilize in this time
So
at
if you
all.
like peppers, eat your peppers, but it's not going to keep you from getting COVID.
Absolutely. Yes.
All right. So
So
what else
an-
do you have?
Another one they talked about was garlic. We all
Mm-hmm.
know garlic has wonderful heart benefits specifically. The American Heart Association highly pushes garlic use
Mm-hmm.
in a natural form, in a powder, in a dried, whatever that looks like for you, but just trying to get more into your system. American Diabetes Association has also recommended it as well, but that's purely what it's for, is to really help with heart health and really help. It
Mm-hmm.
can help with those blood sugars, but it's nothing to do with COVID. I'm not even really sure what the process is behind the thinking on garlic. I couldn't find what they were thinking the garlic would do. I think maybe they thought just because it improves other health conditions that surely this will help and prevent COVID. I think they're just grasping.
Surely.
I think people are just grasping at straws at this point in time
I
because
love
they're
your
desperate.
reaction. Surely this is going to help.
Surely.
So let's go get a couple cloves of garlic and just eat them, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, probably not.
Absolutely.
You
No.
probably don't want to do that.
No, not at all.
But garlic's one of the few, say vegetables, if you want to go that way, that does not lose its potency when ground into powder or fresh.
No.
Or you sometimes, and especially in cloves, it's really the best because you actually can get some liquid out of that.
Absolutely.
That liquid, by the way, is fantastic if you put it into a lot of your soups and things of that nature. You want that garlic flavor. You get that clove, you can squeeze them juices out. And you don't even have to put the garlic in it. Just the juices itself will have a lot of flavor.
Absolutely.
But it is a very good nutritional ingredient to use.
Yes, yes. And
Excuse me.
anytime you crush it, if you let it sit for about 5-10 minutes, the potency just continues to grow. You just
Right.
it's almost like you're activating it a little bit more. So if you want an even higher flavor taste, you just let it sit for a little bit
Yep,
right
let
after
it air out.
crushing.
That's
yeah,
right.
absolutely.
But they did take a little bit. Some people just that's what they call it, the garlic wang.
Yes.
After you crush it up like that, really, it's
Yes.
almost like an onion.
Yes,
you
almost
know.
tearing-eyed.
Yeah, almost. And so that's why really the powder and the garlic salt both came into being, because you can sprinkle it on without that effect,
Yes.
but yet you still get the benefits of what the garlic provides.
Yes, and so many things use garlic to combine with something else. One of our favorite ingredients that we use is a combination of garlic and rosemary, and it's just wonderful. I use it on most of our meats, our vegetables, and it's such an awesome flavor. So it's very good to utilize if you haven't. Highly recommend it.
Taste buds like garlic. There's no
Yes.
doubt about that. So
Yes.
if you go to an Italian restaurant, you will find garlic virtually in every.
Yes, you will.
Very well.
And the reality is, if you're struggling with high blood pressure and you're having to get off of that salt sodium intake, you've been so used to the potency of salt, the next best step is a garlic or just a black pepper, because that's really the things you're going to get close to the same level of potency out of.
You'll get that taste change.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, very good. All right, so garlic's good, but it's not going to help with COVID.
No,
All right.
unfortunately not.
So what else?
Well, Harvard put out a couple of things that actually, one of them in particular, actually could be of help, but it's something that we think about really can help overall in health, and we've always recommended it. This is not something new.
Okay.
It's just to push it a little bit more during this time. I think they're just trying to get people as healthy as possible at this point in time. So vitamin D, that's the biggest thing. Vitamin D, they're saying that it can help it might help against becoming infected or developing some of those serious symptoms, particularly of COVID. Now, we already know low vitamin D levels put you at a higher risk or more susceptible to respiratory infections, just in general. So again, this is not new information. This is not something that, oh my goodness, everyone needs to go out and buy a vitamin D supplement. Please don't do that. We've already bought out everything else in the store. Please don't go buy out all the vitamin D supplements. However, I would highly recommend that maybe you do think a little bit more about, well, what might be a way I could get vitamin D? Maybe you've never thought about it before. Well, one of the things that you can do is go outside.
Wow.
10 minutes without sunscreen, and that sun hitting your skin is your vitamin D recommendation for the day. Literally 10 minutes. You can take that amount of time going for a quick walk around your yard. If you mowed today, you've already got it. If you know that you have to park farther away from the front door of your office building to force yourself to have a longer walk in the day, 5 minutes to and from, that by itself makes a huge difference without any supplementation whatsoever. You really don't need the supplement. You just need to think, hey, I maybe need to go outside now.
Right. But there are some people who have some pretty severe allergies right now,
Absolutely.
with mold is just out of sight because of all the moisture we have had. And so if you can't go outside, then you
Absolutely.
might be looking at getting a vitamin D supplement, but talk to your doctor first.
Absolutely, yes. And again, you can also get it from food, though, as well. Your fish, specifically around here, you can get tuna and salmon. Both of those are going to have high vitamin D levels. And then, again, all of your fortified products. Most of your dairy products right now are going to be fortified with extra vitamin D. Your cheeses, things like that, you can get it in yogurts. Anything around that, you can get it without ever having to do a supplement.
Right.
Now, if you do have chronically low vitamin D, more than likely your doctor's already put you on some type of supplement by itself, which can be very beneficial
But
as well.
don't take extra.
No. You don't necessarily need that.
Yeah, you don't need to take extra. You can OD on vitamin D, just like you can OD on vitamin C and anything else. I'll see people say, well, I didn't know I could overdose. Well, it may not be the overdose that you're thinking, like with opium. That's not going to be it's not going to be an opioid overdose, but like vitamin C, you may find yourself doing a lot of runs to the bathroom very quickly, because when that vitamin C rushes through your system, it rushes through your system.
Well, and I think we have to remember vitamin D is fat soluble. Right. So if you don't have adequate fat intake, even of good fats, with your vitamin D supplementation, we don't get as great of an absorption of it anyways.
Right.
So that's something to also think about.
Usually you take it with a meal.
Yes,
some kind of meal.
yes.
But if you just take it with some water, it's just probably going to flush out of your system one way or another.
For sure won't absorb as much.
Yeah, it won't get as much. Okay, so
Absolutely.
vitamin D is a good source, but the best source still is just get outside.
Yes, absolutely.
Vitamin D. Let that sun do its thing, right?
Yes, please. Remember, you've been stuck in the house for months. Please go outside for a minute.
And
Enjoy
the sun
this.
right now is not,
It-
the sun is fine. It's still, the sun's going to be the same, but it's not unbearably humid.
No, absolutely not. And especially first thing in the mornings, anytime I'm not going to work, if my kids get up early and we do our breakfast, and immediately I tell them, get outside. Get outside. It's the nicest part of the day. Let's go out. We'll come in later and play in the house, but at least it gets us outside and they don't feel like they're dying.
And
Because they're 2 and 4 and they feel like they're dying.
And they're getting vitamin D.
Yes,
Plenty
yes.
of it. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Well, usually you don't have to beg kids to get outside that often.
Not normally, no.
Yeah, okay. So very good. So vitamin D. Good advice
Yes,
there.
yeah.
If you have questions about vitamin D, though, do talk to your physician, especially if you're a
Please
little bit
do.
low on that, before you decide to go out and buy 5,000 IUs of vitamin D.
Yes,
And try
please
and
don't
take
go
that,
buy
'cause
over the
that
counter.
probably will not do you a lot of good.
No. And even something as simple as just go get a basic multivitamin.
Mm-hmm.
That is what any doctor will recommend, any dietitian, of just it never hurts to have a basic over-the-counter multivitamin in your diet. No one has a perfect diet, and a multivitamin can help provide just some of that extra nutrition that maybe you're not getting in a well-balanced diet. And that's a great way to do it as well.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
What else do you have? I know you got one more page.
I
Right?
do. So the last one is vitamin C. And that's something that, everyone knows. Vitamin C is an antioxidant. It helps fight free radicals within the body, which helps fight infections. And so there was this idea, we'll just go push a whole lot. I think things like emergency flew off the counter because this idea of vitamin C came out. And so everyone wanted to take it, or they wanted to go get vitamin C supplements, or all the oranges were gone, things like that. And while vitamin C is super good, they've not found any evidence to say that absolutely this will help. And the little bit of evidence that they do have of it being beneficial in any way, shape, or form has been super high IV doses, which is not something you're ever going to get over the counter. I don't care how many emergency packets you take. It's not going to happen for you.
Or supplements you take.
Absolutely, yeah. So I think we just have to be smart whenever it comes to that, because too much vitamin C can actually cause kidney stones, nausea, and vomiting. And that's not something, we don't want to make your kidneys worse, and then you have to go into a hospital setting and be exposed to COVID just because of the fact that you're getting too much vitamin C at home.
Not to mention it could cause quick diarrhea fast.
Absolutely.
I remember a long time ago, this guy gave me a vitamin D drink. It had a vitamin C drink, but it had vitamin C supplement in it. It had like 3,000 IUs.
Oh, wow.
And, I didn't know it. He just said, he goes,
Sure.
this will help loosen you up a little bit. I thought, oh, okay. It did more than loosen me up.
Oh, no.
Well, I mean,
Sure.
it's not like you drink it and 5 seconds later it's going to
Sure.
happen. But, but vitamin C will run through you fairly quick. If you, I'll say overdose on it, that's what will happen. It'll flush out of your system very quickly. And
Right.
but I don't recommend you ever do that because of the thing Nichole was just telling you. Kidney stones are a side effect. You don't want to get any kind of damage done to your internal organs by just constantly taking vitamin C.
Absolutely.
A couple glasses of orange juice a day, that's great. But you don't have to have orange juice. You can have grapefruit juice. There's all kinds of different vitamin C's out there. So
Absolutely.
you don't have to go get a supplement. You can always, there's a lot of fruits with vitamin C in it. And take advantage of it. And of course, too, just if you eat regular, and like you said, with a multivitamin, they'll throw some vitamin C in there as well.
Absolutely. And to be honest, only 3/4 of a cup of orange juice is needed daily to provide all of your vitamin C
There you
needs
go.
for a man or a woman. The only time you have higher needs is if you're smoking. One cigarette will actually pull 25 milligrams of vitamin C from your body.
Really?
Just one cigarette, that nicotine will pull that out because your body's trying to fight the nicotine,
Sure.
which can produce free radicals. So every time you smoke, then you have that vitamin C trying to fight it,
Fight
and you
those.
lose it nonstop.
I see.
So we actually recommend that those clients actually have a little bit more throughout the day. So the difference would be a man who needs 90 milligrams per day, smoking would need 125 milligrams. So you might have to drink a little bit more orange juice.
And make sure it's orange juice, not orange drink.
Right.
Not
Not orange
drink
soda.
is orange soda. Yeah,
Absolutely.
not doing the same thing. So you definitely want to make sure you get the right orange juice to make sure.
Absolutely.
And the ones with pulp are actually better. That's the best ones you can get. Now, some people just cannot take orange pulp. I just like to eat the oranges.
Yes.
Just give me the oranges.
Absolutely.
Just chump
Yeah.
them down.
A couple of medium oranges a day, and you're good to go as well.
You know the old adage. Some of the old adages are true. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Well, an apple does great
Absolutely.
things for your system. Oranges do the same thing.
Absolutely.
You know, a lot of people. I love plums, and I just saw this Country Mart has them on a special. So I'm gonna
Nice.
Get my down there and get some, but plums are so sweet. And there's a lot of vitamin C in plums, which I didn't really care when I was eating them. Of course, the first time I ate plums, I ate like 12.
Oh no.
So
Maybe a little much.
I kind of paid. I was a little kid. I paid the price,
Sure.
But I learned.
Absolutely. And I think
We're
we
not
have to
going to have
remember
12 next time.
Yes, I think we have to remember that while we do want lots of fruits and vegetables, maybe spread it out throughout the day and not all
12
at one time.
Yeah, not a good idea.
Yes.
So again, there's a lot of good things out there. Real quickly, just wanted to touch on. Is that all you had on
Yeah.
that? Okay. Real quickly on a couple things. Obviously, you we're holding at the community center going to have some diabetic workshops and stuff like that. We're going to have meetings every month. That's not being held yet.
That's not being held at this time, and we're
Right.
looking at revamping that a little bit just due to lack of participation.
Right.
So I'm actually working with the clinics to see about potential holding classes with them as they have diabetics who come in that are newly diagnosed. So we're looking at that rather than doing the classes at the Armory from
Okay.
here on
Well,
out.
Yeah, and not only that, COVID-19 kind of killed those.
Absolutely,
little
yes. We can't
collections,
hold
so-
any classes at this point
Right.
anyway.
Yeah,
so.
so I kind of killed that. So, but that is something you're working with right now.
Yes,
to
with
come back.
the clinics individually in town and in Licking to try and provide if you want me to come to your clinic to hold a class there with brand new diabetics, then they're going to let me know about that and we'll touch base there. And whenever we have more information on that, then we'll get that put out.
All right, very good on that. Another thing with diabetes in the summertime, a lot of people, you can wear yourself out real quick, can't you? Especially in the summertime.
Yes.
Because, typical Missouri summer, you're going to be sweating a lot. You're going to be perspiring a
Yes.
lot. If you are doing things outside, you've got to be very, very careful. And not only that, but even, a lot of things that I've come to know from the few diabetic friends that I know have diabetes and have it severely is that when they're doing things outside, they can't walk around in bare feet because they could cut their feet. They can get an infection,
Absolutely.
things of that nature. It's little things you don't think about too often, but you never know. A little wood chip out there, you won't even know it's there. You step on it, next thing you know, you've got a cut, and it could be very dangerous for you.
Absolutely, yes. Please think about foot care if you're diabetic. Please don't go walking around in the wonderful grass. I know it's tempting, but the reality is that the end result is just often not worth it. Make sure you always have something on. Ideally, yes, we'd love a full shoe on just to be 100% protective, especially if you have neuropathy and you can't actually have any nerve feeling in your feet,
Yeah.
so you have no idea. That's super dangerous. But if you do have feeling in your feet, you want to wear a sandal or a flip-flop, just be very mindful of where you're stepping. Make sure that they're sturdy enough that things aren't going to poke through the bottom of them. Oftentimes those flip-flops are just so thin
Yeah,
that
nothing
it's
to 'em.
very easy. Yes, they can step on a nail and it just shoot all the
Or a piece of
way
cardboard,
through. Yes,
nothing there,
anything.
yeah.
But it's super important because anytime you have that, the rate of healing is so much slower for them, especially if they have high blood sugars already. So it's something not to play around with. I know many kind of chalk that off to the side whenever they become diabetic. Oh, yeah, foot care, I'll take care of that later. But it's such a huge deal.
Now,
We've
if
seen
you
so
don't,
many
the
people.
consequences will catch up with you, won't they?
Yes, and we've seen so many people who can't walk well anymore just due to the fact that they neglected their feet for so long. So it is a big deal later
Right.
on in life and something
And
you
some
need
of
to
those
think about.
infections actually do lead to gangrene.
Absolutely,
you know.
sepsis even.
Yeah.
Many can go into that realm of it, and then you have this whole other thing that you have to deal with, and it's something that you need to be very mindful of, especially this time of year.
So be careful out there. And I know, I know people want to go to the river, and I know you don't want to change your lifestyle totally, but don't go out there in bare feet.
Absolutely. Yes.
You've just got to be mindful and think ahead before you go. Don't
Yes.
get down there and say, "Oh, I forgot my water shoes, or I forgot this. Well, water shoes aren't going to do too much for you.
Absolutely.
I mean, they're better than nothing.
Yes, but at least
but be very careful. Those rocks down there can cut you just as
very
fast as anything,
easily, very
anything
easily.
else. Anything other tips for summertime besides staying well hydrated and getting a little bit of sunshine in there?
I think the big thing is just making sure you remember to eat a variety of foods. I think we tend to eat seasonally. So whatever's in season, I'm going to eat that right now. Then at this point, I'm going to eat whatever's in season here. Or if I'm a meat and potato person, that's all I'm going to eat all year round. And we just forget.
That's a heck of a season right
it
there.
It is, but I have people that do it.
I know.
So I think people just forget that they become creatures of habit. I do the same. I like the same things all the time for breakfast. Lunch, a lot of times, is the same stuff. Dinner, we try and change from day to day, but I get in a rut just like everyone else does. And I have to, you have to think through it a little bit more. But telling yourself, when was the last time I had a fruit? When was the last time I had a vegetable? When was the last time I ate meat? When was the last time I had grains? Just trying to get this good variety on your plate and still come back to that idea of my plate. It's a great idea to have a well-balanced meal and have that available.
Sure. Yeah, and I know I kind of grew up in a meat potatoes family. Okay, we always had virtually a meat. My dad was a wholesale meat distributorship, so
sure,
we had meat virtually every day, and then potatoes or noodles or rice, something of that nature, a carbohydrate,
right,
and then at least one vegetable. If not a salad, we'd have peas or green beans or something of that nature. So change it up.
Yeah,
guys, there's a lot of different stuff out there. So you're thinking, I don't like canned green beans. Fine, go get the fresh ones. They're at the farmer's market. You could go get fresh ones. There's nothing better than fresh green beans.
Absolutely.
You can bake them, put some garlic on them. You can oil them all up. That'd be really good.
Well, and if you've had this bad connotation in your mind that, the stuff at the store just doesn't taste good, then that's a great time to go to the farmer's market and try new things. Because you will get a better product, you'll get something, and also be supporting a local business, which I'm very big on. Support your local farms.
Absolutely.
They are huge. They make a living just like we do, just in a different way, and their food is so good.
Oh, I know.
Just get out there and support them.
So check that out. And like I said, carrots are always good. I mean, I'm a big salad fan. I love radishes in my salad. I like olives in my salad. I'm one of those.
Absolutely.
Give me a bunch of stuff in my salad, but don't take away my guts of my lettuce and celery and stuff. And that's what I really love in my salads. I like it crunchy and I like soft and different flavor. Everybody's a little bit different. Some people like more fruit in their salad. I'm not a big fruit in my garden salad, but I love a fruit salad.
Right.
But I don't want fruit in my garden salad. So. Whatever your preference is, and a lot of people do. They like fruit in their garden salads.
Absolutely.
It's not a problem. That's what you want to do. And there's so many different types of salads to have anymore. Just make sure you think about it. You can we just brought up a little bit of pasta, but there's pasta salads, and you can mix whatever else you want in there.
Yes.
Different things. But as I mentioned, or as Nichole has mentioned too, just try and keep a variety.
Yes.
And there's so much right now to be a variety of. Maybe a part of your dinner, you may have a cantaloupe and include a little bit of cantaloupe with your dinner.
Absolutely.
It's a little bit different. Give you a little bit different flavor.
Well, and something else I'd like to point out too is with your farmers, be vocal with them. Tell them you like their products. Tell them what your favorite thing is. That's how they know to keep growing the same foods year after year after year based on what you purchase and if you like it. Also, if you have something that you love, I used to do this whenever we used to live in Tennessee. I would go to a farmer and say, hey, I love this product, but I need it more in bulk. Can we work out a deal with that?
Sure.
And they will set it aside for you. They will grow extra just for you, knowing that they have a clientele base to purchase it.
And knowing you're going to come and get it.
Yes, absolutely. So I think we just have to think through, what do we want? If you don't have the space to do a garden, if you don't have the manpower to do it, if you are just physically unable to do it, talk to your farmers. I promise they're going to work with you.
Absolutely.
And just be able to say, hey, you know what? Every week, can you have the following things available, or will you have those? So then that way I know I can be a consistent customer. I'm always going to come and buy this, and this is what I would like from you. They will be able to expand their farm. They'll be able to expand the products that they provide for you. Because you have to remember, if they can't sell it and their family can't eat all of it, then we have a lot of food waste. And that's what we're
True.
trying to not have as well.
Farmers Market should have you do an ad.
They should. I'm very big about local, and I'm very big about farm.
Well,
Just let them know I'm here.
Well, there's nothing better than fresh vegetables, fresh fruits. In our farmers market, we have such variety, including breads,
Yes.
including eggs. There's there up there, but there's so much to choose from. Guys, don't pass it up. Farmers market, by the way, since Nichole already started the ad, I'll finish it. 7:30 to noon every Saturday up there, right behind the SACPA office, which used to be the Chamber of Commerce office, and right just north of the ONCRC. You can't miss it. There's a pavilion back there. Do watch for social guidelines on the coronavirus guidelines that they have set. Still about 6 feet apart, and you still want one-way aisles up there, guys. So please work with them. Don't just go hog wild crazy. And
Yes.
you see those vegetables and just dive forward that last cantaloupe there before somebody else gets it. One of the favorite things, and I grew up in St. Louis. When we grew up North St. Louis. South St. Louis has Soulard Market, and I don't know if you're familiar with Soulard Market.
I am.
It's like about 15 blocks of just fresh fruit, vegetables, fish, eggs. I mean, it's just unbelievable amount of food. We always used to go like 10:30, 11 o'clock because the swarm was done by that morning. Whatever they had left over, you could get at like a third of the price.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Because they didn't want to take it home.
Well, right. They want to sell it.
They wanna sell it.
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
getting something for nothing,
Absolutely.
they'll take the something. And so a lot of times we do that. And, the guy would have maybe, some lettuce or something like that. We'll take the rest of it for this amount of money.
Yeah.
He was close enough. He wanted to get out of there. He needed to go back and get more food for the next day. And those people go
Absolutely.
there virtually every day.
Absolutely.
That's how they make their living. So it was always interesting. I didn't get a chance to go down there as often as I wanted to, but when we did, we got down there 10:30, 11 o'clock. Heat of day starting to come up like you're talking about. It's starting to get a little
Yes.
hotter. They went out of there. And we want to take advantage and get a good price. So
Absolutely. And again, help them out as well.
right. And you can always talk to your farmers there, and like Nichole said, talk to them about bulk because you'll get a better price if you're going
Absolutely.
to buy a bunch rather than a little bit. They'll give you a better price.
Yes. Yes. And again, just letting them know you like their product. That's what keeps them coming
Absolutely.
back. To
Yeah.
build a farmer's market, you really have to let your clients know you love this. Please come back. I will buy more from you.
Oh, very good. Anyway, we want to remind everybody that Nichole is at the Salem Memorial District Hospital. She is a dietitian. If anybody has any questions about what you talked about today, or maybe just about nutrition in general, can they give you a call?
Absolutely. Call me 729-6626, extension 2110. If you can't get directly to me, just tell them you want to talk to Nichole, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Great. Hey, thanks for coming in and
Thank
spending
you
some time
so
with us
much.
and debuking some of those ideas that people think, well, if I take this, I'll be immune.
Absolutely.
Not going to happen.
Not
guys.
unfortunately.
Nobody knows what's going to work on this. So we'll keep moving forward, though. We keep moving
Yes.
forward. Thanks again for coming in and spending
Thanks
some
for
time
having
with
me.
us. You bet. Here at KSMO Radio, Civic Happenings are next in a moment.